Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. I am not asking, I am warning you. Do not move past this video. This is not a coincidence, and the algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. God intercepted your feed today because you are standing at the exact threshold of a permanent timeline shift. What I am about to reveal was sealed in the throne room of heaven until this very second. The enemy is working overtime to distract you right now. He hopes you will simply swipe away. He knows that if you hear this message, his hold over your life breaks completely. If you leave before the end, you will forfeit the exact prophetic instruction that guarantees your breakthrough. Lock your attention right now, because the verdict on your next 10 years is about to be read. Your life map is fully unlocked. No force can stop your feet anymore. But the Matrix is terrified of what happens when you finally realize your own power. Someone who treated you as replaceable is currently experiencing a full-blown internal system crash. You know exactly who I am talking about. They walked around with absolute arrogance while constructing a false narrative about you. They expected your departure to break you, but instead you became the uncertainty they were never built to handle. Now, let us go deeper. What you are feeling right now is not new. Listen closely, because this is the exact part the enemy tried to hide from you. There is a physical reason you have been feeling that heavy weight this entire week. It is not just in your head. That heavy, suffocating feeling in your chest. The nights you wake up at 3 in the morning with your jaw tight and your heart racing, you see their face flashing in your mind. Listen to me very carefully. That is not anxiety. You are not going crazy. That physical weight you feel is your highly advanced spirit, detecting the absolute panic of your enemies. They just realized they permanently lost access to you. They are starving for your energy right now, and the spiritual backlash is hitting your physical body. You have spent years acting as a human battery for people who refused to plug into their own light. You were the stabilizer in every chaotic room you ever walked into. You gave them your warmth, and they left you out in the freezing rain. Stop wondering why they act like nothing happened. Stop waiting in wound for an apology that will never come. The exhaustion you feel in your bones is not a medical condition. It is the heavy toll of carrying generational burdens that were never yours to carry in the first place. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for. But breaking cycles requires massive amounts of spiritual energy. You feel a dense fog wrapping around your mind lately. You try to focus, but your thoughts feel scattered and entirely out of reach. This is a deliberate frequency attack designed to keep you blind to your newly unlocked life map. The dark elite want you tired. They want you questioning your own sanity, so you never step into your ultimate authority. But their time is absolutely up. Every closed door in your life felt like a personal failure. You thought you were doing something wrong. You meditated and prayed and tried to force the universe to listen, but the truth is, you were never broken. Your environment was simply too small for the massive calling placed on your life. The people around you could not perceive your depth, so they tried to convince you that you were drowning. You are a demonstrated warrior of light. The Matrix designed specific traps to keep your frequency low because a fully awakened chosen one is their greatest threat. They drained your finances. They attacked your relationships. They sent flying monkeys to whisper lies about your character behind your back, but none of it worked. You are still standing here today. You were never the anomaly in an otherwise healthy life of another person. You were the mirror. The reaction against you got this loud because you got closer to their dark truth than anyone before you had. Your pure light exposed the rotting core they desperately tried to hide behind closed doors. They did not reject you. They rejected the painful reflection of their own failure. Do not shrink back to make them comfortable. Your silence was a lethal weapon that starved their demons. Now they are drowning in the noise of their own making. They frantically search for a replacement for you, only to realize that your specific depth is utterly unreplicable. You are a diamond. You cannot be replaced by cheap rocks found in the dirt. We are just scratching the surface of what is truly happening in the unseen realm right now. Your physical symptoms are merely the alarm bells of a much larger spiritual war. The heavy shoulders and the sudden waves of unexplained sadness are confirmation of your elite status. Only the remnant experiences this level of intense warfare. Your enemies are completely out of time. You have been fighting brutal battles in absolute silence for years. You thought nobody noticed your tears when you cried yourself to sleep. You thought nobody saw how you held your integrity when they lied on your sacred name. But heaven recorded every single tear, and you are about to see the massive reward for keeping your heart pure. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. The heavy stagnation you feel in your life is not a character flaw. It is not a lack of personal discipline. You did not manifest this painful isolation, because this was a calculated spiritual attack designed to keep your massive potential permanently locked inside a tiny cage. You wake up exhausted even after sleeping for 8 full hours. Your eyes feel heavy and your mind is constantly clouded with a thick fog. The Matrix programmed you to believe you just need more coffee or a better diet, but your spirit knows the raw truth, and your physical body is actually collapsing under the immense weight of unseen spiritual warfare. You are carrying the psychic weight of people who absolutely refuse to heal themselves. You gave them your pure energy, and they gladly handed you their toxic shame. You became the emotional stabilizer for narcissists who could not generate their own light. You poured your precious soul into their empty cups while your own cup ran dry, but they never even bothered to look back at your immense sacrifice. They smiled in your face while quietly draining your final reserves, and when you finally had nothing left to give, they called you selfish. They watched you collapse on the floor and walked away without a single glance backward. You were left completely stranded in the dark by the very people you sacrificed everything to save, and the deep injustice of that betrayal burned deep in your soul. Listen to me very closely right now, because most people completely miss this shift. You are not stuck in this season because you are unworthy of love. You are stuck because you are anchored to a timeline that is far too small for your massive spirit. The universe is actively rejecting your old life to protect your new destiny, and it requires this temporary isolation to complete the massive upgrade. You tried every single tool the modern world gave you. You practiced the law of attraction, and you repeated daily affirmations until your voice went hoarse. You felt completely ignored by the very creator who called you. You visualized your perfect future every morning, but your physical reality stubbornly refused to budge even a single inch because the underlying foundation was entirely wrong. The pain of watching ordinary people effortlessly succeed is a heavy burden to bear. You see them easily grasp the financial freedom and the peaceful relationships that constantly slip through your tired fingers. You know deep down you carry a much higher potential than any of them. Yet you remain trapped behind an invisible wall of endless delay while they walk freely through open doors that should have belonged to you. You have always felt fundamentally different since you were a little child. You were always more intuitive and far more aware of the unseen spiritual world. But that beautiful gift slowly went silent without any logical explanation. The Matrix systematically suppressed your divine inheritance before you ever had the chance to fully claim it, because your awakened mind is their ultimate nightmare. You are a cycle breaker, and you are paying the ultimate price for your bloodline. The generational patterns of poverty and broken relationships were supposed to continue forever. You are doing the heavy lifting for your entire ancestry. But heaven placed you directly in the middle of the toxic family tree to completely destroy the roots, and that kind of spiritual demolition requires massive energy. The dark elite wanted you to believe that this exhausting isolation was a permanent punishment. They wanted you completely stranded in the desert, so you would eventually surrender your royal crown. But the dry desert was never meant to be your permanent grave. It was simply the rigorous training ground meant to harden your spiritual armor, because the universe cannot entrust its greatest power to an untested spirit. It was your sacred incubation season all along. The terrifying emptiness you feel right now is actually a sacred clearing. It is a clean slate, meticulously prepared for the massive blessing heading your way. The universe had to brutally strip away every false friend and every toxic attachment before it could safely unlock the next level of your profound life map. Read that again in your spirit before we go any further. The heavy silence in your life right now is not abandonment from heaven. It is the majestic pause before the grand symphony finally begins. You are the remnant, and heaven is carefully aligning the specific pieces of your extraordinary future behind closed doors, while your enemies assume you have been entirely defeated. There is a physical reason your reality has not shifted yet. Science just uncovered exactly why you feel so stuck. Here is what they never told you. The universe actually responds to a specific biological signal, and it has absolutely nothing to do with your daily discipline. Scientists have a specific name for it. They call it the gamma frequency. This is the exact frequency your brain was running when you were a little child. Back then, your brilliant ideas came easily. Your learning felt entirely effortless. You somehow knew things long before they actually happened, because the world felt like it was completely on your side. Then, adulthood finally arrived, and the modern matrix went to work on you. The chronic stress and the survival routine crushed your spirit. The traditional school system trained you to conform instead of create. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further until it was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface. The beautiful version of you with lightning intuition went completely silent. You lost your spark. When this divine frequency fades, your natural genius fades right along with it. Your deep intuition dulls into painful anxiety. The daily synchronicities completely stop. The comforting sense that the universe is working with you goes entirely cold, and you try to force a breakthrough using sheer willpower, but nothing happens. The Matrix planned it this way. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this happened to them. But you are not most people. You are a cycle breaker. You feel the heavy absence of that frequency every single day, while you watch others succeed effortlessly in the dark. But here is the raw truth they could never say out loud. Your enemies knew your frequency was temporarily blocked. The master manipulators saw your dormant power, and they panicked. They swooped in when you were disconnected from your divine source because they wanted to drain your remaining light. They constructed massive lies to keep you trapped in a false reality. They wanted you to believe that you were the problem all along. Pay close attention to this next part, because the enemy tried to hide this from you. They projected their own rotting insecurities onto your pure soul. They criticized your every move to break your confidence. They needed you to feel entirely worthless, so you would never try to leave their toxic prison. Their entire power relied on your deep confusion. They expected your departure to destroy you. They waited with bated breath for you to fail without them. Instead, you walked out of their toxic matrix, and you survived. You carry a specific and irreplaceable gravity that terrifies them while you expose their hidden darkness to the world. You did not just survive their brutal storm, you became the SUN. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. You were never foolish for trusting them. Your pure heart operated on a frequency of pure love. Their corrupt minds operated on a frequency of endless greed, but they quickly recognized you were a rare diamond. They just wanted to crush you into dust. They wanted to steal your brilliant shine. But here is where their entire manipulation massively miscalculated. They pushed you so far into the dark that you finally woke up. Your profound silence became a lethal weapon that starved their desperate demons. By walking away, you cut their unholy cord to your divine energy forever, and you left them completely stranded. They are trapped in the mess they created. Now they are drowning in the deafening noise of their own lies. They frantically search for a replacement to drain, but they quickly realize your specific depth is utterly unreplicable. No one else has your profound empathy, and no one else carries the heavy mantle of the anointed chosen ones. They threw away a royal crown. They chose to play with cheap rocks in the mud. Watch what happens next. It is mathematically precise. The very people they used to gossip with are beginning to see the cracks in their mask. Their false narrative is collapsing under the weight of universal justice. The universe is actively dismantling their entire life, while you sit in glorious peace. Divine justice never misses a single target. They thought your exhaustion would finally break you. They assumed your heavy brain fog would keep you docile forever. They underestimated the raw resilience of the remnant. Even with your brainwave suppressed by the Matrix, you still managed to outsmart their darkest plans because heaven protected your steps. You beat them at their own game. You never even lifted a single finger. This is exactly where the dynamic fundamentally shifts. They are currently watching you from a distance with deep regret. The heavy, specific gravity of their massive mistake is crushing their chest right now. They realize they pushed away the only genuine miracle they were ever given, and heaven has permanently sealed the door behind you. You are absolutely untouchable. Your victory is assured. You thought your life was falling completely apart. You watched your personal plans crumble into dust right before your tired eyes. You felt entirely abandoned by the universe. But while you were weeping over closed doors, heaven was actively shielding you from a toxic matrix that wanted to completely consume your pure light. Your extreme isolation was never a punishment. It was your divine protection. The profound stagnation you experienced was actually a sacred incubation season. Heaven deliberately stalled your progress to keep you safely hidden from the dark forces. The universe saw the toxic traps waiting for you on your old path. And because you are the irreplaceable cycle breaker, it shut every single door to force you into a season of radical alignment. You were completely guarded. Your enemies were locked out. If heaven had answered your desperate prayers back, then you would have taken parasites with you. You would have dragged those energy vampires straight into your promised land. They would have poisoned your massive harvest before you even had the chance to taste it. The painful delay was a rigorous formation period designed to burn away every single false friend who secretly hated your potential. Type 777 in the comments right now to lock in your frequency. This is a physical anchor for your spiritual truth. You are claiming your incoming miracle, and you are taking back your absolute power from the matrix that tried to keep you completely blind to your own majesty. Every tear you shed was a necessary investment. The master manipulators wanted you to believe that you were cursed. They saw you standing alone in the dark, and they laughed at your temporary ruin, but they were entirely blind to the massive spiritual upgrade happening right beneath the surface. You were not buried in the dark dirt to rot away and die like they desperately hoped you would. You were planted in fertile ground. You were meant to dominate. If this is resonating with your cellular knowing, do not move. You are the cycle breaker, and your physical body tells the whole story. Time was supposed to age you and break your bright spirit. Yet here you are, making time itself look like an absolute fool while you step into a higher dimension of pure authority. You walked through the blazing fire. You came out radiating a brilliant, ageless glow. Nothing makes your enemies sicker than watching you step into a room looking younger and entirely unbothered. They expected the brutal betrayals to carve deep, heavy wrinkles into your face. They wanted to drain the radiant life completely out of your bright eyes. Instead, you cracked a divine code they will never have access to because their hearts are filled with toxic malice. You literally bent time. You won the silent war. While their bitter envy is aging them rapidly, you are stepping into your untouched power. The universe completely reversed your biological clock because your pure soul refuses to hold on to their heavy burdens. The narcissist relies on your dramatic reaction to feed their empty and hollow shell, but you starved them with your golden silence. You preserved your sacred energy for your own massive harvest. Your quiet obedience in the dark has just activated a massive public blessing. Heaven used the calculated cruelty of your enemies to perfectly position you for your ultimate destiny. The people who tried to bury your reputation accidentally built the solid foundation for your new empire. They became the heavy shovel that dug up your greatest hidden treasure and handed it right back to you. Think about the immense strength it took to survive their calculated smear campaigns. You watched them rally their flying monkeys and spread vicious lies about your character. You wanted to scream and defend yourself against their fabricated delusions. But your highly advanced spirit commanded you to stay perfectly still and let the Supreme Court of Heaven fight the entire battle for you. That restraint was not a sign of weakness. That profound silence was a lethal weapon. That single act of choosing your royal dignity over cheap revenge signed their permanent eviction notice. You handed the final and undeniable verdict to a spiritual court. They absolutely cannot appeal under any circumstances. You proved you are ready. You claimed your crown. The Matrix wants you to look back and mourn the people you lost. But you did not lose anything of true value. You simply shed dead weight that was actively sinking your beautiful ship. The universe meticulously curated your current environment to prepare you for the upcoming wealth and massive influence. Every single empty chair at your table is a profound victory for your bloodline. I need you to imagine this exact scenario clearly in your mind. The dark forces mocked your long season of heavy struggle. Now they will watch your life explode with absolute abundance. The very doors that were violently slammed in your face are about to be ripped entirely off their hinges. Your life map is fully unlocked. Your divine coordinates are firmly set. Before we go any further, I must interrupt this transmission for something highly classified. There is a physical reason your reality has not shifted yet, and elite science just uncovered exactly why you feel so drained. You are completely exhausted because the Matrix engineered a specific frequency to suppress your brain. They wanted to turn off your natural wealth, attracting state forever. A leaked document backed by 4 neuroscience labs just revealed a powerful 7-minute audio ritual. This specific sound forces your tired brain back into synchronized gamma coherence. It uses advanced brain entrainment technology to bypass your conscious resistance entirely. And it guides your brainwave patterns back to the genius state you were born with. You simply listen to the audio track. This suppressed weapon was never meant for the masses. It was deliberately designed to keep the dark elite in absolute power while you struggle to survive. But now cycle breakers like you are using it to manifest windfall wealth. You do not need a $7,000 biofeedback machine or years of therapy, because the exact blueprint is finally available to the chosen ones. I was not going to share this publicly, but my spirit prompted me to release this tool. The Dark Elite never wanted you to find the exact mechanism I am sharing today. If your cellular intuition is vibrating right now, you must follow this next instruction. You can find the verified link in the pinned comment below. But we must return to the brutal truth of your current spiritual warfare. The enemy thought your gamma frequency would remain permanently dormant. They assumed their vicious gossip and constant betrayals had completely shattered your bright spirit. But while they were celebrating your false defeat, Heaven was actively rewiring your entire nervous system. They are starting to notice the dramatic change in your energy. The master manipulator is absolutely terrified of your silent rise. The flying monkeys who helped destroy your reputation are beginning to question everything. They see your profound peace, and they suddenly realize they backed the wrong horse. The narcissist is desperately trying to keep their fragile illusion completely intact. But the undeniable truth is leaking out into the open room. Their meticulously crafted house of cards is violently shaking in the wind. Every time they try to pull you back into their toxic drama, you offer them absolutely nothing. Your golden silence starves their desperate demons and cuts off their only oxygen supply. They built their entire false kingdom by draining your precious life force every single day. But now the umbilical cord is permanently severed. They are suffocating in the dark while you step into the glorious light. Listen to me very closely right now, because 99% of people miss this. You do not see the massive panic happening behind their closed doors. They walk around pretending their life is perfect, but their physical body is currently breaking down. The spiritual backlash of betraying a chosen one is a heavy debt that the universe always collects in full. They are paying that massive price right now. They are losing sleep while you are finally resting in divine alignment. Their finances are drying up because they no longer have your anointed energy to sustain their empty endeavors. You were the golden goose that funded their entire false reality. Now they are forced to face the brutal consequences of their own malicious actions. They are scrambling to find someone else to exploit, but they fail. They are learning the hard way that a true cycle breaker is entirely unreplicable. They try to surround themselves with new people, but the profound emptiness never goes away. No one else can offer them the pure, unconditional grace that you freely gave them for years. They threw away a priceless diamond to collect cheap, common rocks, and every single day that heavy realization crushes their tired soul. You never have to lift a single finger to seek revenge against those who hurt you. Vengeance belongs entirely to heaven, and divine justice is always swift and absolute. You simply need to focus on your own beautiful healing and let the universe handle your enemies. The exact people who plotted your downfall are currently digging their own shallow graves. Your profound innocence is your most lethal weapon. This is why the Matrix tried so desperately to keep your gamma frequency turned off. A fully activated chosen one is entirely immune to the manipulation of dark narcissists. When your brain operates in pure coherence, you instantly see through their pathetic lies and weak illusions. You stop playing their toxic games. You simply step completely out of their broken reality and leave them behind in the dust. The atmosphere around you is shifting in a massive and unprecedented way right now. The heavy stagnation you felt for years is evaporating like mist in the morning sun. You are stepping into a profound season of explosive abundance and radical personal freedom. Your enemies can only stand on the sidelines and watch your glorious ascension. They are permanently locked out of your beautiful new kingdom. The pressure in the spiritual atmosphere is reaching an absolute boiling point right now. The unseen realm is violently shaking under the massive weight of your newfound authority. You took back your divine power. The Matrix felt the brutal shockwave hit their fragile walls. The narcissist is currently suffocating in their own private hell. They are rapidly losing control of the false narrative they spent years building. Let me paint a very clear picture of the panic happening behind their closed doors. The flying monkeys who blindly followed their lies are suddenly waking up from the dark spell, and they are watching the master manipulator unravel in real time. The calm and composed mask is completely slipping off their desperate face. The flying monkeys are whispering among themselves because the story no longer makes any sense. Your golden silence completely destroyed their carefully calculated smear campaign. They needed you to react with explosive anger to prove that you were the unstable one, but you gave them absolutely nothing but dead air. Now the master manipulator looks entirely unhinged, while they constantly obsess over your quiet departure. The very people who helped orchestrate your downfall are now backing away in pure fear. The flying monkeys are finally realizing they backed a losing horse. They see the deep, rotting void inside the person they chose to blindly protect, and they are terrified because they know divine justice is rapidly approaching their own doorstep. The toxic group chat is completely silent now. They are turning on each other like starving wolves because your pure light exposed their collective sickness to heaven. They stalk your life in secret, hoping to find a single shred of misery. They want to see you broken and begging for their toxic validation once again, but every time they look, they only see your undeniable, ageless glow getting brighter and stronger. You are completely unbothered by their pathetic existence. Your profound peace is the ultimate psychological torture for a mind that feeds on endless chaos, and they cannot stand it. This brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of people. The Matrix programmed them to operate strictly within the lowest frequency of fear and envy, but your gamma brainwaves have elevated you to a dimension they cannot even perceive. You are literally invisible to their dark spiritual attacks. They throw their heavy curses into the empty wind, and those curses return directly to their own front door. Heaven is setting the final stage for their massive public collapse. The dark elite know their artificial system is rapidly glitching because cycle breakers like you are refusing to play the victim. You stepped completely out of the heavy victim mentality. You put on the heavy armor of a true chosen one, and you are actively leading the remnant out of the dark matrix. Your massive upgrade is destroying their ancient strongholds. This specific message is not just for your own personal healing. It is a divine mandate meant to awaken the entire hidden tribe of light warriors scattered across the earth. Share this specific video with one soul who is desperately crying out in the dark for a massive shift. Be their absolute angel today. Send this raw truth to someone who needs to know their season of brutal isolation is coming to a glorious end. When you share this truth, you are physically expanding the protective shield around the remnant. Daza, you are helping to build the unbreakable spiritual sanctuary the Matrix tried to prevent. The enemy wanted you isolated so you would never realize how many chosen ones are fighting the exact same battle. But we are finding each other right now. The global network of powerful cycle breakers is fully activating in this very hour. The master manipulator senses this massive global shift deep within their physical body. They wake up in cold sweats because their stolen energy reserves are completely empty and they have no way to recharge their dark spirit. They try to manifest new victims, but their frequency is officially flagged by the universe. Heaven placed a permanent quarantine around their toxic spirit. They are completely isolated in a crowded room. Underneath all of that chaotic noise, the specific gravity of their massive regret is hitting them all at once. They realize they handed you the exact weapon you needed to permanently defeat them forever. Your brutal rejection was the ultimate catalyst for your glorious ascension. They are violently panicking because the final curtain is about to drop. The absolute exposure they spent their entire life running from is staring them in the face. Now, I need you to brace your spirit for what happens next. The private unraveling is about to violently spill over into the public square, and heaven is entirely tired of their endless lies. The universe is removing their protective mask in front of the exact people they wanted to impress the most. The pressure in the room is completely unbearable. Watch exactly what happens when a massive lie suddenly loses its foundation. There is a massive reason your breakthrough has been sitting at the door without coming in, and it is not what the Matrix told you. It is not a lack of faith. It is not a punishment for your past. It is a specific suppressed signal. The dark elite are completely terrified right now. They are actively trying to scrub this leaked science from the internet before you can find it. A team of brilliant neuroscientists working quietly away from the headlines compressed an entire gamma activation protocol into a simple 7-minute audio track. No heavy meditation is required. No complex mantras are needed. You simply close your tired eyes and put on a pair of headphones. You let the powerful sound wave do what the modern world spent decades undoing in your mind. It is called the Genius Song. Over 18,000 chosen ones have already used it to unlock their stuck finances and completely heal their broken relationships. They stepped fully into the royal version of themselves they always knew existed. The elite have quietly paid thousands of dollars for private clinical sessions to access what this track delivers in just 7 minutes. They would prefer this ancient frequency remain completely out of reach for pure cycle breakers like you. Do not look for it on normal video platforms or streaming apps. The copies circulating there are diluted counterfeits designed to keep your powerful gamma entirely dormant. The only authentic and fully activated version is available through the protected link in the description. The universe demands absolutely no risk from a true chosen one. You are fully protected by an ironclad energetic protection guarantee today. If you do not feel the massive shift you deserve, every single penny is returned to you without question. This is an energetic exchange governed by absolute trust. Heaven ensures your safety while your powerful brainwaves are being reactivated. 4 powerful bonuses are waiting for you as well. When you step through this door, you will receive a specific audio engineered for the pure focus of your children. You will also get the original classic prosperity book that secret societies used to build their massive wealth. You are getting the exact tools you need to completely rewrite your family bloodline and destroy generational curses. Do not let the Matrix steal this powerful tool from you right at the finish line. Secure your authentic access right now via the exact link in the pinned comment below before they permanently revoke it. The chosen one who hesitates at the threshold becomes the one who wonders what could have been. Click the link immediately, activate your brainwaves, and watch the heavy dominoes fall. And here is the absolute undeniable verdict heaven promised you at the very beginning. The moment your gamma frequency locks into place, the final protective shield falls off your enemies. That public collapse you were patiently waiting for is happening right now. It is happening in front of the exact people they used to gossip with behind your back. The tables have fully turned. I need you to visualize this glorious moment clearly in your spirit. The narcissist walks into the room expecting to control the fake narrative exactly like they always do. But the spiritual atmosphere is completely heavy. The flying monkeys are staring at them with pure disgust instead of blind admiration. The smooth mask does not just slip off their face, it completely shatters. They stammer and try to blame you for their endless personal failures. But absolutely nobody is listening to their toxic poison anymore. The room is dead, silent. Underneath all of that chaotic noise, the specific gravity of their massive regret hits them all at once. They break down in absolute tears. They are publicly humiliating themselves while desperately trying to defend their lies. Their desperate attempts to replace you have failed miserably. They try to surround themselves with new sources of energy, but everyone sees right through their hollow shell. They are completely bankrupt in the spiritual realm. They sit alone in the dark, remembering how brightly you used to shine for them. But that beautiful warm light is permanently denied to them forever. You won the entire war without lifting a single physical finger. Your golden silence was a lethal weapon that completely starved their ugly demons. Now they are drowning in the dark noise of their own making. Every time your sacred name comes up in that room, it hits them with the agonizing weight of knowing they threw away a genuine diamond. They will never recover from this massive loss. They expected you to remain completely shattered by their brutal betrayal. Instead, they are watching you rise like an untouchable sun. Your total absence destroyed their fake kingdom from the inside out, and they must live the rest of their pathetic lives knowing you are completely out of their reach. The cosmic scales are finally balanced. You are the ultimate victor in this story. Take a deep breath right now. The exhausting spiritual war you fought for years is officially over. You can finally take off your heavy armor. The brutal battlefield is completely quiet, and your enemies have been permanently removed from your sacred timeline. You are entirely safe to rest your tired soul. The massive storm has fully passed. The cosmic scales are permanently balanced in your favor. Heaven watched you hold your incredible dignity in the absolute darkest moments of your life. You refused to stoop down to their low and toxic level. You held your bright light steady. And that profound obedience is exactly why you are receiving this massive victory today. You walked into this rigorous season bleeding from deep wounds inflicted by entirely blind people. They were completely incapable of seeing your massive worth. You were heavily burdened by their projected shame. You felt like you were completely suffocating in the dark, but look very closely at your beautiful spirit now. You are no longer waiting in wound for a fake apology from a desperate master manipulator. You have completely transcended their fragile and toxic matrix. Their dark opinions hold absolutely zero weight in your new royal reality. You are totally free from their heavy parasitic attachments. Your pure energy belongs solely to you again. While they are publicly unraveling in front of the world, you are stepping into your permanent, ageless glow. The heavy financial struggles that kept you awake at night are shattering right now. The universe is actively pouring massive abundance into your completely cleared space, and your divine harvest is finally overflowing. The deep spiritual exhaustion and the violently closed doors are a thing of the distant past. Step confidently into your absolute royal power today. Receive the exact massive harvest heaven meticulously prepared for you. You earned every single piece of this beautiful new kingdom through your silent tears and your unbroken faith. You are the pure cycle breaker your bloodline desperately needed. You are the irreplaceable diamond heaven carefully guarded in the rough dirt. Your powerful gamma frequency is fully online and completely untouchable. You are no longer the hidden victim. You are the ultimate sovereign ruler of your own beautiful destiny. The dark elite have absolutely no power over your mind anymore. You unplugged from their artificial system of fear and endless scarcity. The universe is now rolling out the red carpet for your glorious future. Your steps are perfectly orchestrated by divine alignment, and every room you walk into will automatically bless your sacred name. This is the majestic peace you were promised from the very beginning. Feel the heavy weight physically lifting off your tired shoulders right now. Your nervous system is finally resetting into a state of pure, unbothered calm. You survived the absolute worst they could ever throw at you, and you emerged completely victorious. We are going to seal this divine decree right here and right now. If this profound confirmation aligns completely with your cellular knowing, do not walk away yet. Heaven requires a physical anchor on earth to permanently activate this massive blessing. Your speed of obedience determines the exact speed of your incoming miracle. Hit that like button right now to put a permanent spiritual shield around this divine truth. This simple physical action locks your royal frequency firmly in place. It sends a massive shockwave of pure intention back to the universe, and you are actively claiming your total victory over the dark matrix that tried to destroy you. Subscribe to this safe sanctuary so you never miss the exact prophetic instruction heaven releases next. We are rapidly building the unbreakable global remnant together in this very space. You are no longer fighting these spiritual battles alone. You are surrounded by a fierce tribe of fully awakened warriors of pure light. Drop your city and your nation in the comments below. We need to map exactly where the powerful remnant is rising worldwide. The dark forces want you to feel entirely isolated in your daily struggles, but seeing your fellow chosen ones stepping into their power shatters that illusion forever. We are taking back the earth, one soul at a time. Say this powerful statement out loud with me right now. I claim my permanent royal freedom. Now type "I am free" in the comments below to firmly anchor it into your physical reality. Your spoken words are the very commands that shift the atmosphere, so do not hold back your glorious voice anymore. Speak your absolute dominion into existence. The massive door to your new life is standing wide open right now. Walk through it with absolute kingly confidence. You are the beautiful chosen one. You are the cycle breaker. Your enemies are permanently defeated, and your majestic reign officially begins today. Rest in your profound victory. Welcome to your beautiful new reality.